Welcome to my 7th class mathematics class. First chapter, integers. Additive identity of integers. When we add 0 to any integer, we get the same integer. Then 0 is called the additive identity. So take an integer 8. 8 plus 0 is equal to 8, or minus 2. Minus 2 plus 0 is equal to minus 2, or 0 plus minus 2 is equal to minus 2. 0 plus 8 is equal to 8. So 0 is added to any integer, the sum is the same integer. Therefore 0 is called the additive identity of integers. Additive identity of integers is 0. So you can take any number of examples. Minus 21 plus 0 is equal to minus 21. 34 plus 0 is equal to 34. Like that. So we can write in general, if a is an integer, a plus 0 is equal to a, or 0 plus a is equal to a. So 0 is the additive identity of integers. Additive identity of integers. The multiplication of integers. Multiplication of integers. 2 into 3 is equal to 6. You know, here 2 and 3 both are integers. The result is also an integer. 2 into minus 3 is equal to minus 6. For 2 there is no sign, means plus. Plus into minus is taken as minus. Therefore 2 into minus 3 is equal to minus 6, or minus 2 into plus 3 is also equal to minus 6. So product of any two integers is another integer. Take both negative integers, minus 2 into minus 6. Minus 2 into minus 6 is equal to minus into minus plus 2, 6, 12 is positive integer. Thus the product of any two integers is also an integer. Therefore a into b is equal to c. If a and b are two integers, c is also an integer. This is the multiplication of integers. Integers are closure in multiplication. Suppose two positive integers are multiplied, the product is a positive integer. One positive and one negative integers are multiplied, the product is negative. If two negative integers are multiplied, the product is positive. If one negative and one positive, either it is at the first place or in the second place, one negative and one positive integers are multiplied, the product is minus negative. So we can take, like, remember this like this: plus into plus is equal to plus. That means product of two positive integers is a positive. Product of two negative integers is also positive. The product of one negative integer and one positive integer is negative, or in either way, plus into minus is equal to minus. This is also minus. So one positive and one negative is equal to negative. If both are positive integers or both are negative integers, the product is positive. Thus you remember the signs. Next, commutativity. If two integers are multiplied, a into b is equal to c, then if a into b is equal to c, then b into a is also equal to c. That means a into b is equal to b into a. So we can take in any order the product is the same. This is called the commutativity of multiplication. For example, take 2 into 3 is equal to 6, or 3 into 2 is also 6, or minus 5 into 3 is equal to minus 15. 3 into minus 5 is equal to minus 15. Therefore, A into B is equal to B into A. A into B is equal to B into A. This is called the commutativity of integers. Next, multiplication by 0. Multiplication by 0. If we multiply an integer by 0, it is equal to 0. Whether it is positive or negative, the product is equal to 0. So 0 into 5 is also equal to 0. Or if A is an integer, A into 0 is equal to 0. If we take negative also, minus 3 into 0 is equal to 0. Or 0 into minus 6 is equal to 0. So product of one integer and 0 is equal to 0. We can write it as A into 0 is equal to 0 into A is equal to 0. Next, multiplicative identity. Multiplicative identity. So additive identity, we have seen additive identity, and 0 is the additive identity. That means if 0 is added to any integer, the sum is the same integer. Similarly, if an integer is multiplied by some number, its product remains that number. That is called the multiplicative identity. For example, 5 is multiplied by 1, the product is 5. Or minus 10 is multiplied by 1, the product is minus 10. So the product is the same number when it is multiplied by 1. Therefore, multiplicative identity of integers is 1. Multiplicative identity of integer is 1. Therefore, it can be written as, in general, A into 1 is equal to 1 into A is equal to A, where A is an integer. Next, to associative property. Associative property of multiplication. So consider three integers, 2, 3 and minus 4. We are multiplying it like this, 2 into 3 into minus 4, grouping the second 2. Then the product will be 2 into 3 into minus 4, minus 12. 3 fours 12, 1 negative, therefore minus 12. That is equal to minus 24. If we group the first 2 like this, 2 into 3, group into minus 4, 2 3s 6 into minus 4, 6 4s 24, 1 minus, so minus 24. Therefore, this property is known as the associative property of multiplication of integers. In general, if A into B into C, when B and C are grouped, is equal to A into B into C. This is called the associative property of integers. Next, there is another property called distributive property. Distributive property of multiplication. This is associative property of multiplication, and now distributive property of multiplication. Suppose 5 into 2 plus 3. 5 into 2 plus 3 is equal to 5 into 2 plus 5 into 3. That is equal to 5 to 10 plus 5 3 is 15 is equal to 25. Or we can directly solve this problem by adding these two. 2 plus 3 5. 5 into 5 equal to 25. This is same. Therefore 5 into 2 plus 3 is equal to 5 into 2 plus 5 into 3. Like that we can distribute. This is called the distributive property. Therefore, if for any three integers a, b and c, a into b plus c is equal to a into b plus c is equal to a into b plus a into c. This is called the distributive property of integers.